Scorpio, this is going to be your December 2018 general reading. And so, for this month, as usual, I hope you guys are well. Happy holidays or happy winter solstice. As usual, I'm going to be using the spiral deck for your general spread, or your basic spread. And then this month for clarifiers, I'm going to be using this beautiful deck. It's not a traditional tarot deck. This is an astrological oracle card deck that's made in the Art Nouveau style. I really love this. The illustrations are beautiful. So this has the 12 signs and the 10 planets in it. This is what the back looks like. This is what the cards look like. I don't know if you can see them. Aren't they gorgeous? That's the moon right there. Uh-oh. And so, let me show you your basic spread. I already picked your cards. Be a good boy, Ozzy. Be a good boy. Very nice, you guys. You have the Ace of Cups as your general experience for December. What is your challenge? It's really not too bad of a challenge, honestly. You have the Four of Swords. What is helping you is strength. At your core, you have the Hermit. In the recent past, you have the King of Swords. You've had the King of Swords floating around you for a long time, it seems like. But at least now it's in your past. So, your best possible outcome, this is reminding me of the moon that I just showed you that came out for you. Here is the High Priestess. In the near future, you have the Eight of Pentacles. You right now are the Six of Pentacles. In your surroundings, there is justice. This makes me feel really good when I see this for you. And your hope is for judgment. Your general outcome is the Magician. You have the High Priestess and the Magician as your two outcomes. Okay, sorry about that. My dog started to whine. So, your central experience for December, let me turn it that way. You may fall in love all of a sudden, or meet an unexpected person that amazes you at how different they are, in a good way. You may have a sudden new opportunity come out of nowhere. You have the Ace of Cups in with Uranus. And Uranus rules sudden events. Quick, sudden, out of the blue, unexpected events. At least that's how I'm reading him right now. With the Ace of Cups, this leads me to believe in December you have a sudden, unexpected, amazing opportunity fall on your lap out of nowhere. Or it could be saying that you've been wishing and hoping for something for a while and even taken action on going towards those things, but possibly for whatever reasons it was being delayed or slowed down, or you weren't seeing results from your actions before. And perhaps you may have even lost some hope or became discouraged. This is telling me in December, all of a sudden you have something work out whether it's with love, whether it's with money, with health, with family, whatever it has to do with. This tells me that a new path opens up in your life unexpectedly by the universe in order to make you feel hopeful and magical again, or renewed again. So that's wonderful. You may fall in love unexpectedly, or you may fall in love with someone who is extremely different, or an unexpected kind of person that perhaps you weren't even aware existed. But something about this is extremely exciting and broadens your mind, helps you to see things in a new way. You may have a new feeling start in your heart in general. This could be unexpected news for someone, that you're pregnant and expecting a baby, or a new love comes out of the blue, or just some unexpected, amazing new opportunity. So your challenge. Your challenge is that you need to either sleep more, rest more, or have more meditative moments of silence. You need peace in your home, or at least you need peace in your bedroom, or in the place that you go to rest. Perhaps your home has become too messy and it's time to clean up the energy, clean up the stuff in your home, make it more beautiful, or just find the space in your life to rest your mind where you're not overthinking things, worrying about things, or your mind isn't on alert all the time. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. And that will bring you much needed balance in your perspective and in how you approach things and how you resolve things as well, or how you work well with others, is by making sure you have enough alone time, enough peace, enough calm and serenity. This is a challenge. Maybe you have a million people around you. Maybe it's hard to sleep at night. Maybe there's a little bit of disharmony in relationships. This is the Libra card, by the way. And you also have justice in your surroundings. So this is 2 Libra cards you have in your reading. But this is telling me your challenge is to maintain harmony or peace right now. Perhaps you just have a lot of people coming in and out of your life, or a lot of noise, or just a lot of things going on, and you feel like you're not getting enough time to rest or to have harmony so that you can think straight or communicate straight. Something like that. Or you may need a rest from a Libra in your life too. That's one other way I could read it. You need justice. Or perhaps you're having a hard time sleeping because you feel as though certain things have not been just or not been fair, or you're worried if things are going to get balanced more than they have been. Something in this. You need to listen to beautiful music and make sure that your surroundings, especially at home or where you sleep, are serene. So it could be that if you recently unexpectedly fell in love, you're in the heights of it right now, which means you're not sleeping enough. Or you need to balance out the new unexpected wonderful events in with how things actually function, or how you can handle all these things at the same time. And what is helping you? You have strength and Mercury together. This is great. This is telling me what is helping you is you have become really strong in yourself with how you communicate. Just your powers of communication have gotten extremely strong where you communicate well. You assert yourself well. You're gentle with others well. You just have become really accomplished with how you see things, think about things, and communicate. And whenever, if there has been any kind of, I'm not getting that though. Yeah, I'm not getting necessarily that there's been conflict. I just feel as though your powers of communication have become extremely strong, where people know exactly where you're coming from. And you may also, what is helping you is to state your boundaries or say what you will or will not experience. Lady Strength is all about honoring herself and others and striking a balance with what people need in order to stay empowered and balanced or strong in themselves, but not to the point of overriding other people. It may be you need to speak up possibly about your boundaries with someone, but you have strong abilities with communication right now, so you should be able to sail through that just fine with being able to explain yourself or express yourself, express what's on your mind with other people, to make sure that there is balance in how people are treating each other or how you are being treated. Something. Or you may be, what is helping you is to lead with how you communicate. Perhaps things need your leadership skills right now or your organization skills, in which case you can come up with a really good plan or strategy on how to go about things to make sure that things get balanced out better. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. So that's what's helping you. Or to speak with a Leo too. So at your root, you have the Hermit and Sagittarius. This is the month of Sagittarius in December. It feels as though this month you are doing a lot of inner searching and getting clarity from within on what direction or what long-term goals you have on how to move forward in the future. I'm thinking of Sagittarius as the archer. She has to be focused on a target or a goal in order to be able to accurately strike it or to reach her destination, so to speak. I'm just saying her because it's a woman in here, the centaur. They're both women. So what I'm getting is to get real truthful with yourself on what adventures you want to take, what your goals are, where you want to go. There may even be something in here about a vehicle. You may be seeking some truth on whether or not you should sell your car, buy a new car, exchange cars, or simply what direction do you want to go in? What is your destination? You're getting really clear about your own internal truth of what your goals are. I'm not necessarily picking up on physical goals, as in career goals or even location goals. I'm getting something deeper than that that's more spiritual. It's more what do you want to do with your life? What is your personal truth? Or what direction do you want to go in with what you're truly doing with yourself? Not just ordinary everyday things like paying the bills or the minutia of the present, but long-term spiritual goals. I don't really know how else to put that. And so you're getting really deep this month on what your spiritual goals are, or where you want to be taking yourself in the future, not just coming from the perspective of practical things, but of where you want to be in with your psyche in the future. Or you need to seek some clarity about a Sagittarius. That's another way of putting it too. Or just to find your own truth. There may be deeper truths that you are seeking that you will find that you need in order to move forward. You most definitely need a break or periods of peace or quiet or solitude or serenity in order to find the answers that you seek. and also to balance yourself so you know what you want. Not that you don't know what you want, but just to find a balance between things. So, in the recent past, you have the King of Swords and you have Saturn, the great taskmaster. I'm getting here specifically that for whatever reasons, maybe because of hardships or things that you've had to learn or go through, lessons that you've had to learn, periods of feeling stuck or laden down, where things have been growing slower than you think. I feel as though a while back you got way too serious, or you got too mental or too serious about things, possibly because things weren't coming very easily for such a long time, I'm getting. It feels as though you have done a great deal of karmic work on how you communicate. At times you may have hit periods of depression. And I'm talking with your mind here, because I'm looking at the King of Swords here. With your mind, you may have gotten too serious or too worried about using resources properly or what lessons you needed to learn. It seems extremely serious and sobering is what I'm getting. You've been very sober. You possibly haven't been laughing enough, or you've just been worried about things, or you've been trying to get so organized with goals and where you've been headed that it feels as though something else has been lacking because of this. But in any case, through all of the things that you've been learning, you have learned how to take yourself seriously and how to set serious goals and how to communicate seriously with other people, or how to communicate about serious matters. You have developed your powers of communication quite a bit through this whole process. And that's part of the reason I'm getting on why you have Mercury and strength as what's helping you, is you've been there, done that. And now it feels like you're getting a lot more lighthearted, or you're lightening up on yourself. You're feeling more accomplished. You're feeling the energy lighten up. Possibly things have gotten energetically a little bit too heavy in the recent past. And now you're lightening up a little bit, and you're realizing that you've learned enough on how to communicate where now you want to communicate in a much warmer way. This strength card is ruled by Leo, which is the heart. And the King of Swords is ruled by Leo's opposite, Aquarius. And it feels as though in the past things have gotten too serious, or things have gotten too sobering to the point where you almost felt cold. Possibly other people perceived you this way, when really you were just trying to get practical, and you also just didn't want to really deal with BS anymore, or just complications anymore. You wanted to get right down to the bone of things. But now what is helping you is still to communicate superbly, but to do it in a much warmer way that has more to do with your heart. And possibly your heart is opening up all of a sudden more. And that's the reason why you have the Ace of Cups and Uranus as your central experiences. You can still be realistic, practical, and superbly intelligent while you have your inner child alive, and while you believe that magic is possible. What I'm getting here is sometimes Uranus can be a little too skeptical, or mental, or scientific. Let's put it this way. You are coming to a point now where you can mix and mingle and blend your magical childlike self in with your scientific cold mind's way, where you have the best of both worlds. You are not delusional. And yet you are not so mental that you are serious about everything and you don't think that magic is real. I don't know who the heck this is for. Normally Scorpios know that magic is real, but I don't know what you've been going through, but this seems really sobering. Whatever it was, it may have sent you into a state of being that isn't necessarily your energy. So let's look at your best possible outcome. Your best possible outcome is the High Priestess, which is psychic ability, intuitive ability, your own intuition, your own soul's knowledge, or knowledge that comes from within that doesn't have to go through a mental process in order to receive it. Sometimes, a lot of times actually, she is quite silent. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets. Other people's secrets, her own secrets, and divine secrets, that she's not going to give this knowledge or these secrets to any old fool that comes along. They need to prove that they're worthy of these secrets or this knowledge that she carries. Secret knowledge, let's put it that way. And so it takes a special kind of soul to be able to hang with the High Priestess and understand her, or where she can actually truly be herself without overwhelming whoever she's with. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to show you your clarifiers. Your first clarifier is Virgo. Your third clarifier is your own card. Look how beautiful you are. This is the Scorpio card. And so what I'm getting here is something rather I don't know where this is coming from, but it's basically saying this month your best possible outcome is to be yourself, be your High Priestess self, keep things to yourself, and observe. Trust your own intuition, what you get, but also it's telling me an emphasis on observe. And first you're going to observe. Pick up on any gut feelings you have, any visions in your head, any weird smells. You know what I'm talking about. All of the different ways you can pick up on things. And just observe, pick up on things. After you pick up on things, you filter what you got. You separate it, look at the different elements involved, analyze things. And this is also saying, just observe. Don't necessarily make any judgments about anything you observe. Just observe, and it's specifically telling me you need to keep it to yourself. Not that you don't do that already, but it's overemphasizing that to me. Perhaps there's something that you're going to be perceiving that is going to come in handy later on. And for now, you just need to gather, listen, observe, and gather. And purify, too. And something about what you observe and filter is going to aid you. I don't really know how else to put this, and what I'm getting from this is rather vague and broad, and so I don't really know how to interpret it for you in a specific way, except your best possible outcome is to trust your own powers of observation, obviously. But I don't feel like that's its message. It's telling you something is going on. You need to, not necessarily a negative thing, pay attention, observe, and hang on to or hold on to what you find out, so that you can purify the situation somehow. I don't know. This could even have to do with yourself if this isn't an external situation. Can be saying to open up your own powers, or that your own powers are going to be opened up much larger than before. And it's going to be up to you to filter it to figure out what the message is, to figure out what it's telling you, to figure out how to better yourself, either physically with your health, or how you're thinking about things, or how you're handling things, so that you can become even more in your own power. And that's your best possible outcome. You most definitely will be receiving messages. So in the future, you have the Eight of Pentacles with Pisces. You're the only sign so far that's gotten the Pisces card. It's rather pretty. What this is telling me is that in the near future, you are determined to work on your dreams or make your dreams practical. Or if you happen to be musically talents, let's just say if you happen to be extremely talented, no matter what this talent happens to be, whether it's a creative talent, as in cooking or writing poems or singing or making visual art or creating furniture or whatever it happens to be, it says you need to do this more. If you're a writer, you need to write more. If you're a painter, you need to paint more. It may even be time for you to invent something new. Take the skills that you already have and use your imagination to express it in a new way. But it definitely says that perhaps because things, either you or things, have gotten too sober in the past or too serious, and you had to deal with what's the word? A cold analytical approach, or a cut and dry way of dealing with things. You need to get back in touch with your imagination and your creative gifts and your dreams. And I think that has something to do with on why you have the Hermit and Sagittarius at your root, is you're getting real clear on where is it spiritually that you want to go. What would make your soul happy? What would make you feel like your life is meaningful or more meaningful? And to go in that direction and not to think of those two things as being separate from each other. Like Pisces rules things like poetry and dreams and inspiration and imagination. For some reason in the humankind collective, especially out west, where things are so left-brained and so logical and scientific and magic isn't real and all that stuff. Things that we're just fed by the collective in general, just in our surroundings in society. Why do those two things have to be thought of by the collective as being incompatible? It used to be artisans made really good money. And like, think of Leonardo da Vinci, or old architecture that has beautiful gingerbread or angels and griffins and lions built into the architecture. Obviously, if someone was building, this is just a story, you guys. If someone was building a houseboat, and let's say they're a carpenter, they're somebody who knows how to make things with their hands. They could just make a houseboat. They could make a plain, functional, very practical, well-made houseboat. Or they could make a houseboat that has a mermaid helm with her hair flying behind her, or a sea serpent helm of the ship. It could have scrolls carved into the woodwork on the side of it. It could look like a Viking ship. It could look like a pirate ship. It could look like any ship. And so what this is saying is, in your near future, you don't have to be this sobering energy anymore. You can go in this direction and be this energy more, where you're combining the best of both sides of your nature. And if you happen to work with a Pisces or a Piscean or Neptunian individual, this person can only bring you fascinating, amazing ideas. And this can be working on how to stay practical and inspired together rather than thinking of those two things as being separate. Not that you think of them as being separate, but it feels like there's more of an integration between these two energies in the future than there has been in the past at all. Maybe this is a brand new thing. In any case, if you approach it patiently and express yourself fully, you should have a really good outcome from that. And you right now are determined to make sure that things are fair and reciprocal with love relationships, relationships with other people, relationships with your environment, with your community, with everything. Making sure that things are equal or fair or just or reciprocal, where it can flow and grow from there. So there's something about an exchange of ideas as well. An exchange of ideas, a better, more reciprocal exchange with relationships of all different kinds, including romantic ones. You're seeing this happen now, or you're fully embodying this now. Not only that, I'm getting something about combining forces with other people in order to create abundance enough to filter it back out into the community again. So let me make this into a smaller story. Let's say you've fallen upon rough times. While you were in your rough times, lots of loved ones and dear friends and people in your community helped you. Let's say they loaned you money, or they gave you food, or they helped you to find a job, or if you needed a ride someplace, they gave you a ride. People helped, and now you are at a place where you want to give back. You want to be prosperous enough or feel full enough where you can shower gifts on other people in order to balance the karma out. You want to give, basically what I'm saying is you want to give back to the people who have given to you. And there's something about combining energies with other people that is a really good force for this. Some kind of a partnership or just an equal balance of exchange. So you want to fund, you might even know some people that are getting started with something, and you may be able to fund them, or you may be able to grant them something that they need to get started. This is what we're all supposed to do for each other. This seems to be a common theme for pretty much everybody in the month of December. I'm pretty sure this has to do with Jupiter and Sagittarius, honestly. That might be why you have Sagittarius at your root with the Hermit, is because of this season, this time of the year, and the energetics that are going on the planet in general. You're thinking about what truly matters, not just for yourself, but for a larger vision or a larger perspective. And thinking of practical ways to manifest your dreams or get extra creative with combining forces where you're no longer having to manifest things on your own so much, or to follow an authority so much. It may be that you got really sick of authority and authority figures, and you see how the authority is somehow twisted in some way where it's just not it's not creative as much as it could be. So in your surroundings, you have Mars and Justice. You want to do something to ensure that things are fair and just. Your surroundings are facilitating justice right now, and it's a good time to speak up over things that you feel are unfair or could be adjusted to make sure that they are more fair. You also may need to make some kind of a major decision in your surroundings with how to what action steps to take or what to do to move forward and ensure that things are just. You may have possibly noticed certain things in your surroundings that are not fair, and you're willing to put your armor gear back on and go back to work of making sure that things are just. Something. If you have, yeah, this is a perfect balance because justice is ruled by Libra and Mars is the ruler of Aries, its opposite. So this is two opposites working together in your surroundings. When you need to be assertive, when you need to put your warrior gear on, you can do that. And when it's time to be the peacemaker, and when it's time to talk things out or come up with solutions to problems or to weigh things, you can do that too. It's almost like in your surroundings, you know what is the best thing to say or do at any given moment because you have these two aspects balanced right now. If you are met with a combative attitude in your surroundings, you can address it in the proper manner. If you have Lady Justice show up in your life and she says, you know, I've been trying to talk about things, but it's not really doing it, then you would put your warrior gear on and go back to work of making sure that people listen. Something interesting. Well, that's in your surroundings. Your hope is that whatever has been meant to die or end in your life will finally come to an end. Basically, this is telling me that you've been on of course, being Scorpionic people, you're constantly transforming and changing. But this seems like a big transformation. This seems like a really big, deep process that you've been in for a while now. And your hope is that you will finally have the outcome from all of this. You've been possibly walking through hell, which you are familiar with, and that is your home. And so what you are hoping, though, is that the dead will come back to life finally, or that the things that have been brewing, I'm kind of getting this vision of viney type roots growing around in the ground. It's like you sense that something has been about to burst forth into life, but it's been rumbling for a while and you haven't really seen anything sprout just yet, where what you thought was dead comes back to life. A miracle happens. This is a miracle. This is when the dead, Pluto, comes back to life in judgment, when the dead raise from their graves from the angel. The angel's trumpet brings them back to life again. This is a miracle. This isn't something that happens every day. I actually was watching something on YouTube the other day, of video footage of people actually coming back to life. There was one story about a baby, I forget where in the world it was. It was the Philippines, I can't remember. It was a baby that was pronounced dead from a fever for 24 hours. And the next day was the funeral, and they had the baby in the coffin, and all of a sudden they saw movement, and the baby came back to life in the coffin after it had been dead and its heart had stopped for 24 hours. This stuff does happen, just not, it's maybe less than 1%. Less than that. It's a miracle. It's what people have been calling one of what many people have been calling miracles. But this is a miracle. You're hoping for a miracle. You're hoping to have this breakthrough. You're finally hoping to come out of hell and come back to life fully again in a newer, transformed form than before. Okay? And that what you thought was no longer possible becomes possible. And your general outcome is the Magician and Jupiter. You can manifest anything, especially when it comes with the intention of goodwill. and generosity and wanting to contribute, wanting to give back, wanting to speak warmly, wanting to come more from your heart. Not that you are heartless or you haven't been coming from your heart, but I feel like this is an explosion in the heart. And that totally is in line with what is your central experience for December is sudden, transformative, amazing love that comes out of freaking nowhere. And this could just be you wake up one day and you feel completely changed. And you have a new feeling inside of you all of a sudden out of the blue that you didn't have before. Or this could literally be walking across the street and you stumble across the love of your life. And they happen to be a tightrope walker in the circus from Africa or something. There's something about this that is extremely unpredictable, or it wasn't able to be predicted even by somebody as psychic as you are. Even you did not expect this. Even you are surprised. But you're surprised in a really pleasant way. So, wow, you guys. Okay, I love you very much. Many blessings to you. Happy holidays and happy winter solstice. And I shall see you soon.